Merlin. Also another thing you mentioned, like growing up in fatherless homes.
I had a
That
stepdad too, though, for the record.
yeah, fair. Same with me.
Yeah.
Um,
Fortunately for us.
yeah, and I realized two of those stuff put together. I realized in recent years now I'm older, like the impact of not having more men in my family, and just like because my granddad, he was on some shit, so he was never part of our family, whatever. So my grandma, matriarch, this and that, whatever, and my grandma, she's crazy. So it is what it is. So love her to death, whatever. But, she's crazy, and then the craziness trickle down on everybody, whatever. And then my mom being a big personality, whatever, and my stepdad's around since I was 7. My dad was been life, but he was different state, whatever.
100%.
And then even though my stepdad was always this macho man, handyman, fix the world, this and that, whatever. Now I'm older and I understand relationships and shit like that. I realized that he really didn't run things though.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So as much as he was this alpha personality or intention, he didn't run shit. And I think that's also why the relationship ultimately ran its course. Because my mom was running shit and women can't drive. So it's
running shit off a cliff.
Right. And it's like, and I'm like, yeah, it'd be certain time when shit going on, family function or conversations or just issues. I'd be like, yo, like, if there were just other men around, like there's just more men in these rooms.
The masculine energy.
Yeah, more masculine energy in these rooms, conversations and issues. Shit just wouldn't even go this way, really. And then also, we don't have a big family. There's also not even that many people.
Yeah.
It's just X amount of women just fucking talking in fucking circles and shit.
I feel like masculine men go where we respect it. So when you see a lot of these situations where it's like dominated by like women that want to be in control, typically it's like think of Game of Thrones. It's a fight for that crown, for that seat. And a man, we're not gonna compete with a woman. So it's about understanding like, all right, cool, I can just overthrow this situation, but at what cost? Is it going to be how much kickback, right? So let's say like if you had an uncle, and your mom and them, you say they very outspoken, they got big personalities, and they like to run shit. And like that's their brother. So there's a different level of disrespect that might come behind him trying to step in. Me being a man and then presenting myself as the man of my family, I'm probably the most consistent man to show up to everything. I got a relationship with the kids and the adults, and I'm the baby son of my mom, the baby child of my mom. So a lot of my cousins older than me, the women and all that, to the point where like even the ones that work in the business with, they older than me. I had to get them to respect me and my masculinity by showing them like I'm really a man. And it started like younger, but at the same time, it was like, oh, that's my little cousin. And I remember even Thanksgiving, it was one of the situations where it was like one of my other cousins that's my cousin, like, but it's like she ain't like in a business or nothing with us, and she had like said something like some disregarding what I was saying, like I'm a child, and I just had to like laugh it off and then just recenter the conversation. But by the end of it, she realized like, oh no, like damn, this nigga really. But it's like for most masculine men, it's just like I ain't got time to be dealing with disrespect. So my absence say more than my words ever could, and it's not the same as being a bandit. It's literally like if y'all not gonna respect what I'm bringing to the table, I respect myself too much to sit here from a perspective of being a man of this family. Now being a man of your own family is a little bit different, but that's why we won't deal with a woman that's not respectful to us, because it's like I'm not about to choose to deal with you and you disrespectful. Another thing, man, we often hear the term that say like go where you celebrated, not tolerated, and I feel like, just to pivot quickly, people don't understand from that point. They typically think that it's just like a admiration thing. I think it's about going where people recognize your value. Because if you could be as masculine as a man as you want to be, if masculinity is not appreciated or respected in that space, they're going to always make you feel out of place for that. They're going to make your masculinity seem toxic. They're going to make it seem like you're trying to be controlling. They're going to make it seem like you're this big manipulator, because in reality, they don't appreciate your presence until it's needed in the way that they think it's needed. Oh, we need them to fix something. Oh, we need them to pay for something. Oh, it's danger. Call the man. But when it comes to day-to-day operations and structure, no, we got it. We don't need you for that. But it's like going where you celebrated, not tolerated, like that's a tolerable thing. You only calling me when you need me. But the celebrated part is like, no, we understand why you're here. We understand your value. We understand that you need it, and you will create a different structure than we are able to create. Although we can create some structure, the structure that you're going to bring is going to look different because it's a masculine and it's a manly structure. Another thing about it, we could just pivot in thinking about currency. Like currency is worth different in different places. So it's like what yen is worth there is different than what, the dollar, the USD is worth here, or a peso, whatever the case may be. And if you are yen trying to operate where they take pesos, it's like you valueless. And a lot of men find themselves in that predicament because you're trying to display your worth. I'm worth 100. It's like not here. But if you go where you actually celebrate it, it's like, oh, they know what the value is, they know what they're getting from it, you know what you can get for it. And that's where a position and alignment becomes a real topic and a real thing that men have to understand. You could be dealing with a woman trying to make her see your value, and the same could be true. Women could be dealing with a man trying to make him see their value, but it's like, we don't accept your currency here. And it's the currency is the subjectivity of how people perspective work. Like, you want a man to respect your wholesomeness, but he only respect hoes. You want a woman to respect you being this provider, but she only respect independence. It's a conflict of interest. So you have to go where the wholesome meets the provider, and then they come together, and they don't bring the fucking host, the hoe, or the fucking the independence into that conversation. And the man shouldn't come in there talking about when he dealt with Miss Independent. The woman shouldn't come in there talking about when she dealt with the dog ass motherfucker that didn't want to commit. You got to realize that we are now in alignment with the currency, where though what I spend with you actually accounts for something, what you spend with me actually counts for something, and we're not just mismanaging each other, we actually being celebrated versus just being tolerated.
Yeah, so even exchange at that point.
Even exchange. That's what we call currency exchange at that point.
Yeah, boy, good.